Hello, everyone, and happy Venus Day. Today is Friday, which is ruled by Venus. So, today we're going to talk about what's going on with Venus in the sky and what it means for you. Now, currently, Venus is retrograde in sidereal Pisces. Now, Venus doesn't go retrograde as often as the other planets, so this makes this a little interesting. Okay, so usually when Venus is in Pisces, that's a very good thing. And it's because Venus is exalted in Pisces. And he can bring us a lot of amazing blessings. However, because he's retrograde, he's going to be part of the eclipses. Most recently, the lunar eclipse that we had on the 14th, and then we have another one coming up on the 29th. So it's really important that we pay attention to these eclipses and what they mean for us personally and for the collective as well. So I'm going to go into what this means for you personally by sign. And if you looked at the pin, or if you're coming on later in the description, you can go ahead and pull up the sidereal calculation of your chart, because I'm a Vedic astrologer. That's what I use. And I'm going to let you know what this means for you moving forward. So just know today that we're not just talking about love and money. We're also talking about the very fabric shift in power, especially if you're living in the United States, but this also affects us all on a global level. So these sands of global influence, they're shifting. And I know that a lot of empaths and light workers are really feeling this right now because Pisces is our sign, and that's where a lot of these eclipses are taking place. So there is going to be a little bit of an unraveling of the stability as we know it, and it will be replaced by something else. And I'm going to go into what that looks like a little bit. I know that if you live in the United States, we call it Los Estados Unidos in Mexico. It's going through a bit of an identity crisis because the Sun and Saturn are also involved in these upcoming eclipses. And the Sun represents the ego, Saturn represents the karmic debt that's coming to be paid. And I know that when Saturn goes over Sun, especially in someone's chart, that it can indicate that the identity is being shifted into something new. Okay, so our current administration in the US is teetering on the edge of transforming the nation into an autocracy, and that is supported by the April 8th eclipse in 2024 that hit the first sign of Pisces in Gandanta. What is a Gandanta? A Gandanta is a spiritual knot where all of the karma is collected. It happens between water and fire signs. So when I saw that happen, Project 2025 came out and I went, oh, it's going to happen. Before that, it was the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Before that, it was COVID. Before that. So that's how astrologers, Vedic astrologers, keep track of some of the more malefic changes that are happening in the collective, the ones that aren't really supported by democratic means. So smack dab in the middle of these eclipses, we have Venus going retrograde during a powerful eclipse on March 29th, where Saturn is also going to be entering Pisces on that same day. It is going to hit the United States chart at the 4th house, and it's going to aspect the 10th house. So the 4th house is real estate, what makes us feel secure. Our mothers, if you have Saturn in sidereal Pisces, are at the end of Aquarius. The 10th house is career, it's your public image. This isn't just dramatic, it's a bit of a cosmic earthquake, and we need to prepare ourselves and our families for this. So Uranus is going to completely restructure things. And I did a previous video by sign on Uranus entering Taurus. You are welcome to go ahead and open that and what it means for you later. But this retrograde that's going to occur during the eclipse on the 29th, it's going to expose some hidden agendas, the cracks in our society that have been filled a little too much and start to crumble, okay? And there's going to be a lot of scandalous truths that are simmering beneath the surface that are going to pop up after this, okay? So we can let's dive into this Venus retrograde in Pisces. It's combined, like I said, with this powerful solar eclipse. It's going to bring a potent wave of energy that's going to impact us all. So it's important that we pay attention to it. And I really want to explore what it means for you personally and for the world stage so that you really kind of understand what's going on. So first, let me explain who Venus or Shukra is for those who don't really follow astrology. Here's Shukra with his horses here, okay? Now, Shukra is known as Venus in Vedic astrology, and he represents love, beauty, pleasure, luxury, art, romance, relationships. He's the planet of harmony, creativity, and sensuality. So this is where we find our joy. If you look at where Venus is in your chart, that usually indicates where you find the most pleasure. Mine's in the fourth house. I love creating a beautiful, clean home that's also a spiritual sanctuary full of good food. That's where my Venus is. And it's in Leo, so my house is very nice. Now, how this has already affected me is I sold or donated most of everything I had and I moved away from my home. And so I have been taken out of that sanctuary. And what that's done is it's kind of removed the blinders for me and allowed me to see a little bit more about what was going on. So I appreciated that Spirit pushed me in that direction, but it was very difficult. So know that a lot of you in the audience are going to be facing some of these challenges based on where Venus is in your charts. That's why I'm going into more specific remedies for you today so you can prepare for this, okay? So it's what you value, it's your relationships, it's your aesthetic tastes. It's also Venus is also associated with wealth, with comfort, with material pleasures. So remember that when these areas are challenged, we can lose our sense of security and stability. That's why it's important for us to stay on top of this, okay? So know that when Shukra, this is Venus, goes retrograde, these areas are subject to review. And Venus in retrograde is asking us to really sit in a time of reflection. So there could be a lot of potential delays, some confusion, some disruptions over the next few weeks that we're experiencing. And know that this retrograde can bring a reevaluation in love and finances and housing and areas where you put a lot of your money, your time, and your energy. Okay, this would be material energy. So it's also your connection to beauty as well. So this is basically a time for a lot of inner reflection on your values, on your relationships, but it's also a time where a lot of illusions for things that we hold dear will be shattered. Okay, so think about illusions of power, the mirage of stability, the false promises that are going to be revealed during this time. Okay, so know that the solar eclipse on the 29th is going to amplify these retrograde energies. And nova eclipses are very powerful catalysts for karmic release. So this eclipse can bring sudden, unexpected events, particularly in the areas of life ruled by Pisces in your chart, and on a grand scale at the very heart of nations. Like I said, in the United States, it's the fourth house of real estate and the 10th house of career. So those are the areas that I'm going to be looking at there because the United States is a Sagittarian ascendant. So, prepare for some scandals to be exposed, some hidden truths to come to light. We're also going to find out during these eclipses, which we already are, who can be bought, whose morals can be subject to change based on their fears of having their material needs not met. So those are just some big things. It's because our power structures are being shaken. It takes a lot to form a democracy, but it doesn't take a whole lot to topple one. Destruction is a lot easier than construction. So we can expect a lot of these energies to happen quite quickly to the point where by 2029, 2030, the United States will be unrecognizable. So it is important to pay attention now. If you want to do a little research into the future of where we're headed, you can look into, there's some really great documentaries coming out on YouTube via North Korea, Russia, and various areas and segments of China. Now, China is actually becoming more democratic than the United States in some areas, which I found very interesting in my studies. But if you want to look at the direction that the current administration is looking for and what Project 2025 wants to do, look at South Korea with a Christian bent, okay? They don't want to deal with people who can think. Let's just put it that way, all right? And research and speak up for themselves. All right, so before I go into each sign, I want to say hi to a few of you in the audience and see if you have any questions. Now, when I do the transit by sign, I'm looking at your sidereal sun, which is your ego, your moon, which is your emotional state, and your ascendant. That's the ASC in the chart, ascendant. And that represents the physical body, yourself, your overall material personality, okay? So Venus is on the first and the seventh houses of each sign, and I'm going to give you guys some remedies for that. So before I do that, I want to go ahead and say hi to you guys because I missed you. I hope you guys had a good day yesterday. All right, so the lovely Rose Blue is here. Thank you for keeping us updated. And I hope I explained it a little more for you. I went ahead and pinned the link in the description for you guys. You can go ahead and click on it, put your birth information in, and follow along. Like I said, ASC is Ascendant, MO, that's Moon is Sun, and SU is, MO is Moon, and SU is Sun. And I'll explain what they mean for you if you guys have any questions now before I get into the sign. So let's go ahead and start with Aries, and I'm going to be looking at the first and the seventh houses for each sign because Venus aspects the house that he's in addition to the house right across from him because he represents our relationships, okay? That's self and relationships and the things that we see directly across from us. That's how Venus works, all right? So let's start with Aries. Now, for Aries, Ascendant, Sun, and Moon, he is currently in and aspecting your 12th house. What is the 12th house? That's losses, but it's also moksha or spirituality. He's aspecting the 6th house of health and daily routines. So how does that impact you? So get ready to face some of the shadows in your closet, some of those ghosts and skeletons that you've left there for a little too long. There might be some spiritual confusion after the eclipses, okay? It's like trying to meditate with a jackhammer. I know what that's like because we have them outside right now. And losses, your wallet may feel a little lighter than usual, okay? So hidden enemies are also going to be kind of crawling out of the woodwork during this time, so you need to watch your asset, watch your backs, and watch who you're around, okay? As far as your daily routine, that's your 6th house. You're going to prepare for a little of some upheavals in this area. Okay, there's some chaos happening in this area for the United States after Uranus moved into Taurus. Okay, so there's also some health issues that can pop up. Know that they're going to be a little more acute because the 6th house is the house of acute disease. And remember to check that cosmic engine light because when it comes to your work environment, a lot of things can happen here where you serve and people that serve you, also people that may be subordinates at work might be causing some drama, okay? So if it's feeling a little spicy, just know that those are the eclipses, okay? And it's also Venus retrograde is a part of that. There could be a lot of office politics on steroids. This is also the house of hidden enemies. So like I said earlier, watch your back here. And if you have pets, make sure that you're getting their health looked at and you're keeping them safe. I know a lot of people with sidereal Aries moons are dealing with pets with end-of-life stuff right now. So it's important to just check in with them especially if they're getting older, all right? As far as the eclipse influence, be prepared for sudden shifts in your health, in your work, and on your spiritual path. Those are the main things that you can expect with the Venus retrograde here. So what's a way to work through this energy? You can chant to Lord Hanuman. You can donate sandalwood if you're living in India, because I have a lot of Indian clients following me as well. And you can also offer prayers to Goddess Lakshmi as well. So I am going to go ahead and give you a prayer, a very simple prayer that you can say to Lord Hanuman. He's very active and beautiful, and he can help you out. His is Om Hum Hanumataye Namaha. Om Hum Hanumataye Namaha. Om Hum Hanumataye Namaha. And Hanuman is a very Rajasic karmic yogi, and he can really help you kind of brave through some of these things that you see coming your way, okay? As far as modern remedies, you can practice mindfulness. You can practice a little more meditation if you're able to. I know it's going to be more difficult with that 12th house energy going on. If you can't do that, really focus on your self-care during this time and review your daily schedule to identify areas of improvement. Maybe introduce some healthy foods that improve your immune system during this time, things like that. Take on a new exercise that makes you feel more connected to your body and that maybe improves your balance because you could be feeling a little imbalanced with this energy, okay, Aries? Taurus. Taurus is going to be affected in the 11th house of gains and friendships. Opposite this house is the 5th house. That's children, that's creativity, that's stocks and gambles, things like that. So let's talk about the 11th house. That's going to bring a lot of your friendships under review. Prepare for some very uncomfortable truths. Your goals, they could be, you might as well be writing and disappearing ink. Now, I have a Taurus ascendant. I'm kind of already falling into this. I am finding out that a lot of people that I really looked up to voted for Donald Trump. And I have to decide where I stand with that and how much they do support this person and how far they're willing to let it go, because he's a Nazi, guys. So it's hard for me to understand why a light worker would support that energy. Yeah, so that's how I'm dealing with this. As far as gains and things like that, there might be a lot of delays here because of the 11th house is one of profits. Okay, so this is time to invest in patience and it will come in handy. You might have to go silent with a few friends because they're going to be feeling a little emotional. Even when you're going through heck, they're going to make and put their needs first, their emotional needs first, and it's not going to make a lot of sense, but you'll know it when you see it. Okay. Now the 5th house, that's your creative pursuits. If you feel like they're kind of hitting a wall, or your romance is kind of turning into a soap opera, or your kids are just kind of like bouncing off the walls and acting crazy, these things are going to kind of test your last nerve. Okay, those are the areas where you can just take a step back and go, it's the eclipse, it's the Venus retrograde, it's part of it. This is a lesson in patience, it's a lesson in vairagya, which is passion. Okay, so prepare for drama in these areas because there's going to be a lot of it. Also be wary of taking any gambles right now that involves stocks, investments, big financial moves, okay? Because they're not likely to be supported under this energy. Even though Venus is in that beautiful 11th house for you, it's retrograde and part of an eclipse, okay? So it's important to keep that in mind. Now, just be prepared for sudden changes in your social circles, in your creative projects, and in your romantic life. Okay, so those are the areas you can kind of expect to see some of this. Now, I say romance, that's also very 5th house. That's pleasures, children, things like that. This also involves your creativity, right? So what remedy can you do? Because I always like to provide remedies. You can chant to Lord Varuna. He is the Lord, also known as Apas. That's the elemental, is Apas. That means water in Sanskrit. Varuna is Lord of the sea or the ocean, large bodies of water. You can donate white clothes and you can chant the Guru mantra as well. So I'll go ahead and give you a mantra for Varuna. Om Sahasranetraya. Oh, that's actually Indra. Om Jalabimbaya Vidmahe Nila Purushaya Dhimahi Tanna Varuna Prachodayata. Om Jalabimbaya Vidmahe Nila Purushaya Dhimahi Tanna Varuna Prachodayata. And the best day to chant Varuna's mantra is, dear Taurus, on Mondays, the moon days, because he's the Adi Devata for the moon, and he can help us wash away those impurities of the mind and practice that beautiful patience. Okay, so if you're feeling like your emotions are a little right now, that's one deity you can pray to, a form of the divine source that you can tap into to see that little river that represents your jiva expanding and becoming one with the ocean, so that you can take some of that anxiety and just go breathe it out. Know that it's all source, okay? Some modern remedies. This is a time to really reflect on those friendships. Do they share the same values as you, or are they Nazis? I'm just going to put it into clear terms, okay? The people that are coming out of the woodwork, especially that are coming after my clients in some of these readings, are not good people. They're very violent and they're very dangerous. So if you feel like they're supporting agendas that are really damaging toward the collective, toward people of color, toward the rights of women, they think that RAPE is a good thing and it makes a man more powerful. I can't believe this is coming out in some people's feeds and in some of my clients' lives, but it is. You're going to have to set some really clear boundaries with these people. They don't belong in your space. It's not good satsang. That's good company. And just expect some revisions there. Okay, so you can engage in some creative hobbies that don't really lead to a lot of rewards, because know that you won't be seeing them, but they could kind of help you take a step back and take breaks from some of the things that are coming out and being revealed in your life. Focus on open communication with loved ones during this time as well, and be very gentle with them as you do so, because they're going to be going through a lot in your charts too. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. Okay, so let's look at the Gemini ascendant, sun, and moon. Okay, again, the ascendant is your physical body. The moon is your inner emotional state, and the sun is your ego and how you shine in the world. Okay. So, Gemini, this is affecting your 10th house of career and your 4th house of home, mother. Okay, so what does this look like? Let's talk about the 10th house first. Career reevaluation is imminent. Okay, so get ready for some serious professional changes, a little bit of whiplash in this area. Delays in advancement, yes. You might feel like you're kind of running in quicksand during this time. Your public image, let's hope that you have a good PR team, because things are about to get a little messy. Okay, take a step back from the spotlight a little bit here and really reevaluate before just jumping in. As far as your 4th house, your home environment, you may feel like it's turning into a bit of a war zone, whether that's the people in it or what's going on outside it. My husband is a Gemini ascendant, and we literally have jackhammers directly outside our door on a daily. So that's how we're dealing with it. And buzz saws, and they're going through rebar, and the fact that this is just, it's a lot. I had to cancel shows, and so that, and they work on the weekends too. So that's kind of what's going on in our environment. I am curious to see what's going on in yours. The sun would be your ego, the moon would be your emotion. For him, it's the ascendant, so it's physical. You may, for the moons, you may have to step into some heart-to-hearts, and they can turn into interrogations. We're also dealing with that with a friend now. It's like, we're going through all of this stuff. We love you very much, but every time we contact you, it's like an interrogation. It's not helpful. So you're going to have to set boundaries with people that don't understand your situation, and they make it about themselves. Okay. When it comes to your emotional security, it may take a vacation without you right now. So it's important to really reach out and get the help that you need during these times, and what makes you feel secure, especially if you're feeling a little alone and scared. Okay. So the eclipse influence, you need to be prepared for some major and sudden shifts in your career, your home life, or your emotional state during this time. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you a really beautiful remedy to help you through some of this energy, Gemini. And Shiva came out for you. I love Lord Shiva. He's wonderful. So you can chant mantras for him. You can donate white flowers, and you can also offer prayers to Goddess Durga as well if you want some of that goddess energy. And I'll be doing a mantra for her later, so you can listen to that. So I'll give you one for Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And the best days to do a chant for Lord Shiva are the moon days, the sun days, so that's Monday and Sunday, as well as Saturn days, which is Saturday. But you can pray to him every day. He's one of the Trimurti, and he's always there to help. And what he does is he shines a light on what we're ignorant to, and provides us with that vairagya, that dispassion, in order to handle difficult times. So that is a wonderful mantra that you can do, and someone, part of the divine source that you can tap into that can help you with that energy. Okay. But now is a time to really reflect on those career goals, to create a peaceful home environment if you can, and to really prioritize your self-emotional care. If you're having issues with mom, stepping out and offering some support there can be helpful, but know that it can be met with a lot of challenges. Okay. Okay. Whew. All right, so we are going to go into Cancer, Ascendant, Sun, and Moon. And if you guys open your charts, you can see at the bottom there's a list. It says ASC, Sun, and Moon, and you look right across from that, and that's your sidereal sign. Okay? So Cancer, this is occurring in your 9th house of higher education, philosophy, and gurus. Okay, This is aspecting your third house of siblings and communications. Okay, so what is the ninth house? What does this mean? That means that some of your beliefs will be under scrutiny, right? Prepare for maybe a little bit of an existential crisis with this energy. Higher education and travel plans, you can expect delays and detours. Your worldview is about to be challenged, so, and it's going to be in the most inconvenient ways. Okay, so it's time to kind of take a step back and look at things a little differently. Okay, dear Cancers. Now, your third house of communication style is also going to be under review, so you can prepare for some major misunderstandings. This also affects your relationships with siblings, and you might feel like you need to referee a little bit during this time as well. As far as short distance travel, you can expect delays there as well. And you are going to be tested in all areas of travel just off the bat. Okay. You can also run into disputes with your neighbors under this influence as well. So it's important to practice patience there and not give in to the drama. Just know that it's the Venus retrograde eclipse energy. Okay. So just be prepared for some sudden shifts in your beliefs, in your communication, in your siblings, in your neighbors, and especially in those travel plans. Okay. And some Vedic remedy that you can do is you can offer prayers to Lord Brihaspati. We talked about him yesterday. Thursday is his day. He's Jupiter. And you can donate sweets. You can also recite the Guru Gayatri mantra as well. And I'll give you a couple simple mantras for Guru. Om Guruve Namaha. Om Guruve Namaha. Om Guruve Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. Om Brihaspataye Namaha. And if you want his Gayatri mantras or anything like that, whenever someone schedules a reading with me, I provide all of the mantras top to bottom if they need them. Okay, so that is one wonderful thing that you can do. It's best to pray to him on Thursdays, but you can pray to Guru every day because Guru is always with us and in our hearts. Okay, so now is the time you can modern remedies. You can engage in some philosophical discussions. You can practice effective communication and just be open to new perspectives as you do this, and then that will help you better navigate this energy moving forward. Okay, so now let's go into a Leo. Okay, now Leo, this is affecting your 8th house of transformations and shared resources. Now this aspects your 2nd house of finances and speech. So your 8th houses, those are those shared resources, and they're going to be under a microscope during this time. So get ready for some financial fireworks. Transformations, you can prepare for some unexpected plot twists because that's what the 8th house gives us. And introspection, you might find out some things you wish you hadn't. Okay, so this is also the house of inheritances. So you can expect some drama and issues there, especially if you're dealing with an estate matter in the family. Now, this also brings in the 2nd house of finances. That's going to take a little bit of a hit. This is the savings. So prepare for some budget-related anxiety there. And your speech will also be under review. So maybe invest in some activities that cause you to just kind of take a step back and think before you speak. Okay, we call this Mauna. And as far as Vedic remedies and practices, Mauna is practicing silence and only speaking if you absolutely need to and that it's necessary or needed in the moment. Okay, so if you feel like your speech is being tested, rather than just responding to someone right away, take a step back, take a breath, and really think about what you're going to say before you say it. And if you don't know what to think, read a little more before you think. Okay, so read before you think and think before you speak. And that'll really help you through this analysis of speech. Like, why is this person acting this way toward me? Maybe do a little introspection before just going, hey, okay. So as far as family values, they will be put to the test as well. So it's important to watch your speech and what you eat as well, because the 2nd house rules food. So as for the eclipse influence, be prepared for some sudden shifts in your finances, shared resources, and family dynamics during this time. And a really good remedy for you, a Vedic remedy, is you can chant mantras for the lovely Lord Ganesha. He is the remover of blocks and obstacles, which is going to be very necessary for that second 8th house transit. You can donate white clothes, and you can also offer prayers to Goddess Lakshmi. She's the goddess of relationships, finances, things like that. So I'm going to give you a very simple mantra for Lord Ganesha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. And as a Vedic astrologer, Ganesha is very dear to my heart because he's our deity. And I have a lot of really amazing mantras, longer ones, shlokas, things like that. But if you ever want to schedule a session, I can teach you those too, because he is very powerful at removing karma, blocks. He actually saved my dog once. So he removed a block from his intestine before surgery. So I've seen his power IRL. He's an amazing part of source to tap into. And I highly recommend that you really lean on that energy during that time. Now, if you're uncomfortable with the Vedic remedy, a modern remedy is you can practice some financial planning during this time, focus on more mindful communication, and engage in practices that promote inner peace, like mauna, keeping silent, especially when there's a lot of oof going on. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful day, Hershey, and thank you for helping people with the charts, Miss Myrita. That's very sweet. Okay. So let's get to Virgo. Virgo, this is happening in your 7th house of partnerships and your 1st house of yourself and your personality, because the 7th is opposite the 1st. Okay. Now, what is the 7th house? That's partnerships, that's marriage, that's business partners. They're going to be under a microscope right now. So prepare for some uncomfortable truths in these areas, because that's what solar eclipses do. They reveal big secrets. There may be some delays in relationships, and you may feel like you're stuck in some relationship limbo. Okay, so as far as introspection, brace yourself for some revelations that come out in these areas. Okay, now the 1st house, your self-image may be under review during this time. So prepare for some, confidence wobbles is what I call them. Your personality, your appearance, your overall physical health. You may feel like you're having a little bit of an identity crisis, and it is important to watch your health a little more closely as well. Okay, so you're going to get ready to face your shadow. That's the main energy there. And as for the eclipse influence, be prepared for sudden shifts, especially in the area of relationships and your personal identity. So those are the main areas that you need to focus on there, okay? Virgo, Ascendant, Sun, and Moon. All right. So what's a good remedy? One of my favorite deities is Lord Vishnu. You can offer mantras to him. You can donate white sandalwood, especially if you're in India, and you can chant a Buddha mantra. Buddha is the intellect and represents Mercury. So I'll go ahead and give you a very beautiful mantra for Vishnu. This is one of my favorites. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And Lord Vishnu helps you with the mind, and he calms mind down, and he is the preserver. So ask him to preserve all of the beautiful sattvic elements in your life as you go through these major transformations, and see yourself as coming off more polished after this energy, okay? Because that's what he's there to do. He's a wonderful, wonderful deity and source of divine to tap into, okay? If you're not comfortable with the Vedic remedies or you're looking for something modern as well, you can reflect on your relationships during this time. Kind of take those rose-colored glasses off and look at them through a real lens. Practice a lot of self-care and focus on self-improvement. Those are the main things that you can do there. Okay, lovely Virgos. Okay, so our next lovely sign is Libra, and this is occurring in your 6th house of health and daily routines, and it's aspecting your 12th house of loss and spirituality. Okay, so let's talk about the sixth house. That's going to be under review. That's health routines. Okay, so prepare for maybe some unexpected aches and pains, some things that are going to be under evaluation there. When I had eclipses affect my sixth house a while ago, uh, my favorite food in the whole world was pulled off the shelves. It was Jif peanut butter because I had a salmonella outbreak. I was addicted to this stuff, you guys. I love Jif peanut butter. It's like my favorite thing in the world. So it went off the shelf and I had to find something else. What I found was this nut butter from Costco, which is not only healthier for me, but also delicious. It took me some time to get used to it, but it changed my diet. Other things happened too. Things were getting pulled off the shelf as far as my health routines. I got a few injuries that led me to focus more on my yoga practice and less on my cardio, things like that. So it shifted my daily routine and what I did exercise and diet wise for the better. Okay, so see these shifts and delays as getting you on a better track, especially in that sixth house energy. As far as delays in your work matters, you can also expect those. You might feel like you're working twice as hard for half the results under this energy. So just be prepared for that. And as far as introspection, you might find some things that you'd rather ignore. So if you have areas that you might have been overlooking, they're going to show you who they are and that you need to pay attention to them as well. Okay, so also if you have pets, really watch their health during this time and their well-being because they, especially around eclipses, there can be a lot of, especially people who are chronically ill or have been dealing with sicknesses for a long time, and that includes its pets specifically, because that's sixth house energy for Libra. There could be some deaths, okay, in and around this eclipse. So it's important to be in and around them. Have, your favorite mantra, create a calm environment for them, things like that. I have more than one client going through this right now. So, and I went through it. I lost two of my dogs when this eclipse energy hit me a few eclipses ago in my sixth house. So, along with some Saturnian energy as well. So it's important that you prepare for that and give them like the best environment that you can, especially if you have elderly family members and or pets in the home. Okay, and that goes for everybody. All right. But you need to really watch after your well-being during this time too, because the sixth house does also reveal hidden enemies and agendas. So you got to prepare for that. And issues may arise from people who work for you as well. All right. So the 12th house, that's opposite the sixth house. Some of your spiritual practices will be under review. So you can prepare for a little bit of confusion in this area. There's also some confusion regarding finances and expenses with 12th house energy, and your bank account may feel like it's unstable. All right, like you just keep putting money into it and it keeps going out. It's like all of these expenses just keep coming and coming and coming. Okay, it's like a bit of like a black hole. All right. As far as solitude, you might find yourself craving it now more than ever. Okay. And this is also the house of hidden things, hospitals, asylums. So make sure that you're aware and you're very grounded in the truth. And you're not being carried away by false ideas or belief systems. And also don't lie to yourself during this transit in order to feel a little better, because I've noticed that especially when 12th house energy is activated and there's like an Anagarika yoga, like Mars, Rahu going there. I noticed that people that are facing this energy, both in celebrity charts and a couple of family charts, that they will literally live in an illusion and hurt a lot of people in that process. Like, no, that didn't happen. Everything's perfect. And then they make steps and do things that cause catastrophic results in the people around them because their happiness is more important than the truth. Step away from that. Don't allow that to negatively affect you. Okay. And if you feel like you're kind of slipping into this dream world where you're just trying to be happy and not pay attention to anything that's going on, take the covers off your head and look around. And if you feel like there's monsters under the bed, have a conversation with them. If you can't, get out of the house. Okay. That's the main energy I see with this 12th house energy is do not hide under the covers. Okay. See the truth for what it really is. Take the blinders off. Okay. As far as the eclipse's influence, prepare for sudden shifts in your health, your work, and your spiritual path. Okay. Now, a really amazing goddess you guys can tap into, Libra, is Durga Devi. She's amazing. She's the remover of illusion. She helps us with Rahu energy. What's Rahu? That's the North Node. That's the one that causes us to go into these illusions. Like I mentioned, the Anagarak and the 12th house energy that I did a deep dive on. She will remove the illusions so that you don't come back and have to pay off a lot of karma. Okay. A lot of destruction can be done if you're not living in truth. Okay. And she can help you literally slice through any of the illusions that are happening in your path and give you the bravery to confront them. Okay. I'll give you a very simple mantra for her. Om Dom Durgaye Namaha. Om Dom Durgaye Namaha. Om Dom Durgaye Namaha. And I'll give you the longer one too. Om Sarva Mangalye Shive Sarva Prasadike Sharanye Tramike Durge Narayane Namosute. And Goddess Durga is a very powerful goddess because she's all of the divas, divine Shaktis, cities, those are spiritual powers, put into one being so that she could take out Mahish Asurya, which represented a demon who had gotten so out of control that he owned the three worlds. And the devas had to put all their powers into beautiful Goddess Durga that created her to take him out. Okay, so if you have anything lurking in your closet, she will help you with it. She's a very powerful warrior goddess. Okay, so I really rely on her for my Rahu energy as well. Okay. Okay, if you want some more modern remedies for this time, you can focus on developing healthy habits. You can practice some meditation and mindfulness, and you can review your daily schedule as well. Okay, so our next wonderful sign is Scorpio. And this happens in your 5th house of children, creativity, as well as your 11th house of gains, your tribe, your friendships, and basically profits. Okay. So the 5th house, let's talk about that. Those are your creative pursuits. They might be hitting a bit of a snag. Okay, dear Scorpio. So prepare for some artistic frustration, especially if you work in this field. There may be some delays in your relationships with children and your romantic life right now too. And you might feel like you're navigating a minefield in these areas. So as far as introspection, you're going to uncover a lot of hidden desires and truths and things that are going on beyond the scene. Like again, for your ascendant, this would be more physical. For your sun, it would be ego related and maybe work related if you have a strong sun. And for your moon, it would be very emotional. Things that you may not be seeing in these areas are going to be revealed. Okay. Your 11th house is also getting affected. That's opposite the 5th house. So your friendships are going to be coming under review. You're going to maybe reduce some of these areas so you can create better satsang. That's better company. So prepare for some drama there. Delays in receiving gains, you can expect that, and profits. You might feel like you're waiting for a bus that never comes in that area. And as far as reassessing your goals, you might find that they have changed completely. But know that these are all things to kind of shake things up, shake up the status quo, and have you step into something new. Okay, so be prepared for sudden shifts in your creative projects, issues with children, your romantic life, and your social circles during this time, as well as profits. Okay, so let's do a Vedic remedy. You can do prayers for Hanuman, and I gave you guys a mantra for him earlier. You can donate white sweets, and you can also recite Skanda's mantra. This is very simple. Now, who's Skanda? Skanda's the god of war. And what he does is he gives us bravery to fight some of those obstacles and to stand in our truth. He's one of my favorites, and you can see here he rides a peacock, and he is conferring with his brother Ganesha. He is the son of Parvati and Shiva, and his brother is Ganesha, his older brother. And he's very big in South India, especially on Tuesdays. So I'll give you a very simple mantra for the lovely Lord Skanda. Om Sarvanabhavaya Namaha. Om Sarvanabhavaya Namaha. Om Sarvanabhavaya Namaha. And as you do that mantra, focus on your Manipura, that's the ab region, and ask for courage and strength as you move through some of these obstacles, and you can receive it, that beautiful Martian energy, okay? If you're looking for some modern remedies, you can engage in some creative hobbies, reflect on your friendships, and really focus on having open and clear communication with your loved ones. Try not to come in and feed the drama, because there could be some some snags in that area. Okay, dear Scorpio. All right. So our next beautiful sign is Sagittarius. And this is occurring in your fourth house of home and mother, and it's aspecting the house opposite. That's the 10th house of career and how you shine in the world. So what does that look like? That means that your home environment is going to be coming under review. That's also relationship with mother. So you can prepare for some domestic disputes there. There may be some challenges in those family relationships, and you may feel like you're kind of refereeing a family feud. So as far as when you go in for introspection, you might uncover some deep-seated emotional patterns. You need to create some space for yourself and some time for self-care as those come up. Now, as far as your 10th house, your career path is going to be under review as well. Okay, Sagittarius, you can prepare for some professional turbulence. And this also brings delays in your professional advancement as well. So you may feel like you're stuck in a career rut. The confusion regarding your public image, you may feel like you're being misunderstood. Just know that it's this energy, and you're being asked to take a step back and really reflect. Okay. As far as the eclipse influence, be prepared for sudden shifts in your home and your career. Okay, those are the two areas they're really having you focus on. Now, a really good thing that you guys can do is you can chant mantras for Chandra. Chandra is the moon. The moon rules the mother and the home. You can donate white clothing, and you can also offer prayers to Goddess Lakshmi. Okay, she's the goddess of relationships and beauty and wealth. She's wonderful, and I'll give you guys a mantra for her later. So a really good seed mantra for Chandra, which is very easy, is Om Shram Shrim Shram Sa Chandra Masaya Namaha. Om Shram Shrim Shram Sa Chandra Masaya Namaha. Om Shram Shrim Shram Sa Chandra Masaya Namaha. And Chandra rules the third eye. So really focus on this space right here in your forehead as you do that mantra, and ask for divine intuition as well as this beautiful discernment, in addition to Vairagya, which is dispassion as you move through some of these very difficult energies. And Chandra will help. Okay. My guru said that when you do your mantras at night, the deities will come and they will fill your ajna, which is your discernment, your divine eye, so that when you go about each day, your discernment grows and grows and grows. It's like oil filling in a lamp and staying lit. That's why it's important to do our mantras in our Vedic practices every day, so that we can keep that full. Okay. Now, if you're looking for some more modern remedies, in addition to the Vedic ones, you can create a peaceful home environment at this time, even though there might be some chaos happening there. Reflect on your career goals and really prioritize your self-care, because there are going to be some deep-seated issues coming out during this time. Okay, now let's get into Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, this is happening in your third house of siblings and communication. It's aspecting the house opposite, which is higher education, philosophy. The ninth house also represents the father. Okay, so your communication style, that's third house, is going to be under review. Prepare for some major misunderstandings. Know that that's just the energy going on in the sky. Okay. Changes in relationships, especially with siblings, as well as short distance travel, can be expected as well. A lot of challenges are going to be coming in those areas. You might feel like you're navigating a communication minefield, especially if you have siblings that are not handling this energy very well. Okay. As far as introspection, you might uncover some hidden communication patterns that are coming out, and also run into issues with, like I said, siblings and neighbors. So it's important to tread lightly in these areas. As far as the ninth house, you might find that your beliefs are under scrutiny. So you can prepare for, at most, an existential crisis. There could be some delays in your higher education or your travel plans, and you might feel like your plans are being sabotaged. Know that it's just the planetary energy going on. As far as introspection, you're going to uncover some deeply held beliefs and really refine those a little more. As far as the eclipse influence, that's coming up on the 29th, be prepared for sudden shifts in your communication, your beliefs, your siblings, and your relationships with neighbors, community, people in and around you. All right. Now, a really good Vedic remedy that you can do is you can offer prayers to Lord Brihaspati. That's Jupiter. I mentioned him earlier, and I'll show you him again. there it is. And you can also offer prayers to Saturn, okay? And you can donate white sandalwood, and you can also recite a Saturn's mantra. So I'll go ahead and give you Saturn's Bij mantra. It's a very powerful seed mantra. Om Pram Prim Pram Sa Shanishwaraya Namaha. Om Pram Prim Pram Sa Shanishwaraya Namaha. Om Pram Prim Pram Sa Shanishwaraya Namaha. And as you do Shani's mantra, focus on your Muladhara. That's your root chakra, because he can provide a lot of grounding there. It's also a red chakra, so focusing a lot of red light energy into that area as you recite the mantra. And the best day to do that is on Saturdays or Saturn's day. Okay. As far as modern remedies, try to practice more effective communication. Be open to new perspectives, because a lot are going to be coming out during this time, and engage in philosophical discussions that kind of help you move out of any kind of status quo that you've grown into in that area. And you can move through this with a little more grace and ease. Now, Thomas, you mentioned Aquarius and Pisces. So let's go ahead and get into that. So here's Aquarius. This is for Aquarius ascendants, moons, and suns. So this is your second house of finances and speech, and your eighth house of transformation and shared resources. Those would be like inheritances, major chronic health issues in the family that you're having to deal with, things like that. Okay, so the second house, let's talk about that. That means that the finances can come under review during this time. So you can prepare for a little bit of budget-related anxiety, because you're going to be put in charge of things that you're not normally put in charge of. Challenges in speech or family values, that can come out too, especially if family's not taking this energy very well. You might feel like you're walking on eggshells, okay? So as far as introspection, you're going to uncover some hidden financial patterns as well. And if you're dealing with an inheritance or other people's inheritance, a chronic illness in the family, you are not alone there, okay? So just watch what you say and watch what you eat during this time as well, because that's second house energy, and we can find ways to self-comfort, okay? Shared resources, those are going to be under a microscope. That's whether you're in a living situation that you're not used to, or you're sharing resources with siblings as part of an inheritance. Just prepare for some financial fireworks in this area. Delays and transformations, you might feel like you're kind of stuck in a holding pattern. And as far as introspection, you're going to uncover some hidden power dynamics, especially when it comes to family members that may not be doing well. So if you're dealing with a death in the family that involves an inheritance, this transit can bring some drama in that area as well. Okay, so just be prepared for some sudden shifts in your finances and your shared resources. Okay, you can chant mantras for Lord Hanuman. I covered him earlier. And you can also donate white flowers, and you can also offer prayers to, she's one of my favorites, Ma, Goddess Kali. Okay, I will go ahead and give you a mantra for her. She is a beautiful warrior goddess, and she eats demons. So she can literally address a lot of the hidden things that we're dealing with on a more introspective level as well. She helped me through my Saturn K2 dasha in a beautiful way, and I really appreciated this part of source coming through and helping me. Okay, she's beautiful. Okay, I'll give you guys a mantra for her. Om Krim Kali Kaye Namaha. Om Krim Kali Kaye Namaha. Om Krim Kali Kaye Namaha. And Kali dispels fear, just as Durga does. And so really leaning on her and seeing things with that beautiful third eye, that discernment, in addition to having the bravery to practice vairagya, which is dispassion, she's got it in spades. So you can really rely on her for help during this time. She really helped my Aquarian when I was going through full Sati last year. Okay. So some modern remedies. Focus on financial planning during this time, especially if you're looking at an inheritance. Focus on mindful communication and engage in practices that promote your inner peace, especially if you're having issues with family members, speech, things like that. All right, so our last but not least sign is the beautiful Pisces. So this is for Pisces sun, moon, and ascendants. Again, the ascendant is the physical body. The sun is the ego, how you shine in the world, your personality identity. And the moon is your inner emotional state. So if you look at the houses that this is aspecting from there, that can tell you how to handle this energy. That's Venus retrograde is part of the eclipses. Okay, so let's talk about the first house. The first house is, like I said, yourself, your personality. This aspects the house across from it. That's the seventh house of partnerships, relationships. Okay, so your self-image is going to be under review. Okay, dear Pisces, prepare for some major confidence wobbles. Challenges in your personality or appearance can come out during this time, and you might feel like you're losing your sense of self, maybe a little existential crisis, something like that. As far as introspection, you're likely to cover some hidden insecurities during this time. So it's important that you give yourself the space and the time to deal with some of those and work through them and where they came from. Really ask where and why they're coming out and identify the root and deal with that root of the issue. Okay, that can kind of help you work through that. As far as partnerships, they're going to be under a microscope. So prepare for some uncomfortable truths. There may be some delays or issues in your relationships, especially if you have a spouse or a business partner. And if you feel like you're stuck in a relationship limbo, just know it's this energy. Okay. As far as introspection, you will uncover some hidden relationship patterns as well. That's what this energy brings. I went through this a couple of years ago with Jonathan, and we discovered some major health stuff going on with him that really brought to light what was happening in our relationship and how it was affecting it. So it's important to take a step back and give yourself the space to deal with some of these revelations so that you can do so with ease and grace. Okay, dear Pisces? As far as the eclipse influence, prepare for sudden shifts in your personal identity and your relationships. Okay, and that's the one on the 29th. Now, Vedic remedies. I told you I would get to her. You're going to love this, Pisces. Goddess Lakshmi. She's beautiful. I got to see her in a vision once, and she is the divine feminine everything. She is the most beautiful, divine, loving, amazing deity you can tap into. It's just, her love is just limitless. Her beauty is beyond compare. Uh, so you have a really good goddess helping you guys out, okay? You can donate white sweets and you can recite Guru mantra as well, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a mantra for the beautiful Lakshmi, okay? Om Hrim Shrim Lakshmi Veyo Namaha. Om Hrim Shrim Lakshmi Veyo Namaha. Om Hrim Shrim Lakshmi Veyo Namaha. And as you do Lakshmi's mantra, really focus on that heart space, that beautiful emotional core within, and ask her to invite some healing in these areas, especially if you're dealing with relationship and feelings of other. Because know that we are all one, we all share these identities with Source, and that these eclipses, these energies can bring about some confusion in these areas. Okay, dear Pisces. Now, as far as modern remedies, practice self-care. You're going to be going through a lot in this area. Also reflect on your relationships during this time, and then use them to help you focus on self-improvement. And that's the way to really navigate through this energy. Okay? So for all signs, please know that as we navigate this Venus retrograde eclipse period, it's crucial to practice vairagya, which is patience and dispassion, introspection, discernment, which is very important. It's viveka, and self-awareness. That's not hiding under the covers, really seeing things for what they are in the raw, okay? And avoid rushing into new relationships during this time, making huge financial decisions. Instead, focus on reviewing and refining those existing areas of your life. Now, I see the Venus retrograde, especially going in the fourth house of the United States, as a chance for people to really reevaluate their real estate. Because once he goes forward, those areas are going to be hit by the eclipse, in addition to the 10th house. The last time we kind of went through some of these energies, especially with where Saturn is, was 2008. Okay, so it's important that you really reevaluate what you would do to keep yourself feeling safe and secure during these times. So I'm going to go into an oracle card reading. And I went to the Whispers of Ganesh for this, and I hope that this can provide you all with some very much needed collective perspective in dealing with these coming energies, okay? All right, we're going through eclipse season right now, but know that as planets go over the eclipse point that happens on the 29th and the one that happened on the 14th, we can expect some revelations in these areas. Okay, so the number one thing that I can tell all of you is if you are still on Earth, you've already faced the fire, okay? You are a very brave soul for being here, but you pose a very difficult time to become a human and go through the lessons that are coming out during this age. This tells me that you came here to live in a place of strength forged by trials, okay? You're going to be a survivor. And this is not just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about things that are going to get so shaken up and so dismantled that if you're able to navigate them with grace and peace, it's like deadlifting 400 pounds in other realms. Okay, you're here to basically work on some superpowers because it's Kali Yuga, it's a dark age on Earth, and we chose a time where there's a lot of difficult astrological energies coming down. We're talking like fall of Rome and Babylon stuff, okay? So prosperity is your birthright. That's the main thing the guides told me. It's not just about money. It's about creating abundance around you, around your environment, and within your communities, okay? It's about awakening that beautiful root chakra. That's why Ganesha here is bathed in red. Grounding yourself and reminding yourself that you create your reality despite on what's going on in and around you, even if it's a little scary, okay? Now the future, I asked them about the future. It's promising, okay? This is fearlessness. This is Ganesha stepping into a new dawn. So trust your gut. That solar plexus energy is really showing itself here with the yellow for me, okay? That's that inner fire that's going to guide you forward despite the chaos that is happening on a global level. Know that you have all of the power of the universe within you to deal with these coming changes. And you can create a prosperous environment around you and protect yourself and your loved ones, both materially and spiritually, as these revelations come out. Okay? Reflect on your journey. Reflect on the lessons that you've already overcome in this birth and the blessings that you received after them in order to stay grounded through this. And just know that endings, they're also beautiful new beginnings, okay? And a chance to choose a new and beautiful path moving forward. Then, it's really important to realize that you are whole. This is Ganesha holding the Anahata chakra. That's why he's bathed in green. Anahata represents that beautiful heart space in which the eternal Atman sits in all of us. That's the Holy Spirit, source, the things that connects all. So you are a part of something vast and divine. Never forget that. Open your heart. Let compassion flow during this time. And try to see the sacred in everything, despite the chaos swirling in and around us. Breathe in peace. Breathe out love. Okay? You are enough. You always have been. You always will be. And now you can go and you can live in that truth. Okay? Because right now is all about finding that beautiful heart space, that inner resilience, and allowing it to flow forth without fear. Okay? So, yes, Venus is retrograde in Pisces with the stellium that's about to happen in the eclipse. But this is a powerful time for inner growth, for transformation. Your soul signed a contract for this because you wanted to be a superhero. Okay? By understanding these astrological influences that I just gave you, that can help you implement these Vedic mantras, these remedies, these modern remedies to help you navigate this period with grace and ease and earn you a lot of points as a soul. And yes, there is a report card in your Vedic chart that I look at. And when you go through experiences like this and you come out a victor, you get a lot of points. You get a lot of stars from teacher. Okay. So I hope that you guys can navigate these energies with more clarity, with more resilience. I hope that these helped. And if you want to continue to support my channel and all of the work that I'm putting toward this, I please ask that you like, you subscribe, and you just support me for those astrological insights, because I love doing this for you. I'm very passionate about it, and I really care about you and what's coming for you in your future. And I see my practice as trying to walk as many of us home, especially light workers, so that we can guide others toward truth, into staying in Dharma, which is your spiritual path, so we can get closer to Ananda, closer to bliss, and closer to those higher planes of existence and understanding. And I hope to walk with as many of you as I can on that path, but know that it is an arduous one, but don't fear, because you have Source inside of you to help. Okay? So please leave a comment afterwards, especially if these resonated. I'll go ahead and I'll leave you guys with one of the most powerful mantras. I left it with you yesterday, so that as you go through some of these energies, the Venus retrograde in sidereal Pisces with stellium eclipse, this is the most powerful mantra that you can do. And it is ruled by Lord Shiva. Okay. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Urva Rukamiva Vandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamrita. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Urva Rukamiva Vandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamrita. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandham Pushtivardhanam Urva Rukamiva Vandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamrita. Om Shanti 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 Om Peace Peace Peace. And with that, know that I am sending you all so much love, so much peace, and know that the divine is within you and you are whole. Om Shanti, Om Peace, Om Love, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
Sacred knowledge from the stars. Vedic truth heals ancient scars. Mantras clear the karmic way, bringing light to guide each day. Let the planets show their signs as the cards and stars combine. Ancient wisdom flows through